Welcome to our channel, history enthusiasts. Today, we'll take a captivating journey back in time to explore the fascinating story of how the United States of America gained its independence. Join me as we uncover the events, struggles, and triumphs that led to the birth of a new nation. The road to revolution. Our story begins in the 18th century, when 13 American colonies under British rule began to question their place in the British Empire. Discontent grew as they faced issues like taxation without representation and restrictions on trade. The famous slogan, "No taxation without representation," echoed throughout the colonies, sparking a desire for change. One significant event that further fueled tensions leading to the American Revolution was the enactment of the Stamp Act in 1765. The Stamp Act was a tax imposed by the British Parliament on various paper goods, such as legal documents, newspapers, and playing cards, requiring them to bear a stamp purchased from British authorities. This marked the first direct tax levied on the American colonies by the British government and was met with widespread resistance and protests from colonists who saw it as a violation of their rights and liberties as British subjects. The opposition to the Stamp Act eventually led to its repeal in 1766. But it also set the stage for further conflicts and calls for independence in the years that followed. The Boston Tea Party. One significant event that ignited the flames of revolution was the Boston Tea Party in 1773. Frustrated with the Tea Act, which granted the British East India Company a monopoly on tea trade, a group of colonists disguised themselves as Native Americans and dumped British tea into the Boston harbor as a protest against unfair taxation. The Boston Tea Party was a protest against the British Tea Act, and it took place on the night of December 16, 1773. Disguised as Native Americans, a group of colonists boarded 3 British ships, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver, which were docked in the Boston harbor and filled with tea. The protesters, known as the Sons of Liberty, proceeded to throw 342 chests of British tea into the harbor, totaling about 92,000 pounds. Roughly 46 tons of tea. This act of civil disobedience was a powerful statement against British taxation and their perceived lack of representation in the British Parliament. The Boston Tea Party played a significant role in escalating tensions between the American colonies and Britain, eventually leading to the American Revolutionary War. The First Continental Congress. As tensions escalated, representatives from the colonies convened in Philadelphia in 1774 for the First Continental Congress. They sought common ground and discussed ways to address their grievances peacefully, but their efforts were in vain, leading to further clashes with the British. The First Continental Congress was convened on September 5, 1774, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Delegates from 12 of the 13 American colonies, Georgia did not send representatives, came together to address the growing tensions with Great Britain and to coordinate a unified response to the intolerable acts, a series of punitive measures imposed on Massachusetts following the Boston Tea Party. During the First Continental Congress, the delegates engaged in intense discussions and debates on various issues, including colonial rights, British taxation policies, and the proper course of action to be taken in response to British oppression. Despite their differing views, the delegates managed to find common ground and drafted a series of resolutions and appeals to King George III and the British Parliament, asserting their rights as Englishmen and their opposition to unfair taxes and oppressive measures. The shot heard round the world. On April 19, 1775, the first shots of the American Revolution were fired at Lexington and Concord, Massachusetts. This marked the beginning of armed conflict between the colonial militia and the British Redcoats, a pivotal moment that propelled the colonies towards full-fledged revolution. The Declaration of Independence. In the summer of 1776, the Second Continental Congress appointed a committee to draft a formal Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson, along with John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston, was tasked with crafting this historic document. July 4, 1776, Independence Day. On July 4, 1776, the Continental Congress officially adopted Thomas Jefferson's draft, and the Declaration of Independence was born. This eloquent proclamation declared the colony's intention to separate from British rule and listed the fundamental rights of all people. July 4th, 1776, is celebrated as Independence Day in the United States because it marks the date when the Continental Congress officially adopted the Declaration of Independence. On this momentous day, the delegates from the 13 American colonies declared their independence from British rule, asserting that they were free and sovereign states. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. After years of conflict, peace negotiations began, culminating in the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783. This treaty officially recognized the independence of the United States and established the boundaries of the new nation. The Treaty of Paris of 1783 was the agreement that officially ended the American Revolutionary War between Great Britain and the newly formed United States of America. One significant fact about this treaty is that it not only recognized the independence of the United States, but also established the boundaries of the new nation. And that's the remarkable story of how the United States gained its independence, a journey marked by courage, determination, and the pursuit of freedom. Join us next time as we explore more captivating stories from history. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the past.